Got it parked right next to my Lamborghini and inside my garage in my house. I was like, what if this thing like blew up or caught fire? Well, we got an issue with my mom's Model 3. This is the OG. If you guys haven't seen it, it's the white Model 3. As you guys know, mine is the gray one, but this is the OG car. This is the first Tesla that we had in the family. We bought it brand new from the dealership back in 2019. It's been a great car for us. No real issues, except we had to replace the tires, which aren't really a Tesla issue. Let me show you guys what's going on with this car. All right, so as soon as you get in the car, you'll notice it says schedule service to replace low voltage battery. Now, the first time I was alerted of this issue, I got a alert on the app and it told me to replace the battery on the Tesla. As soon as I saw that, my heart sank, because I thought when you talk about an electric car and a battery, I thought they were talking about the battery, you know what I mean? But luckily it turned out it's just the 12 volt, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of that for my mom today. We're gonna pull the car into the garage, but as you can see, we've got a new car in the driveway. Take a look at this thing. It's kind of sort of my car, kind of sort of borrowing it. More to come on that here soon. But let me show you guys this awesome little hatchback Volvo. It's going to be a full in-depth video on this coming very soon, but you get a sneak peek here. Check this thing out. The Polestar designed V60 Volvo hatchback. As you do, this thing is super sick. The interior is wild on this thing. I can't wait to share that with you guys. But without further ado, let's get this started. And just like that, the Model 3 is in the garage, safe and sound. It feels like it's going to rain here. It was kind of drizzling earlier, so we tucked it in the garage right next to the Lambo, looking super sick. But we're going to work on this Model 3 here in the garage. We're going to pull out the battery, take it, get it swapped out, and hopefully put it back in with no issues and see if we can get that error code resolved. So this is by no means a how-to video, but I did watch a couple of how-to videos, and I'm going to try and get this resolved with you guys. So the first step is to actually open the two rear doors. So we're going to do that right now. And these are just in case the power goes out and we're kind of locked out of the car. So open that up just a little bit. Oh, watch the Lambo door. All right, we're gonna do that. Same thing to the other side here. Pop this door open right here. This one we've got a lot more freedom right there. And let's hop inside the car. There's a couple settings you got to change before you start working with the battery. Let's jump in. So we're inside the Model 3 now, and the first thing I did was open the passenger door as well. I don't know if I need to, but I'd rather have it open than not, and find out later that I did need to have it open. So I opened that up. Next thing I want to do is roll all the windows down, just in case we are locked out of the car or anything like that. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, no average Joe right there. Next thing we're going to want to do is make sure the HVAC is off, which it is, because it's not lit up right there. The next step is to actually power down the car. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and open the frunk. I almost forgot that part. So pop the frunk, which is where we're going to be doing most of our work here. Next is tap on this little icon here. Scroll down to safety. Scroll all the way down to power off. Yes, I'm sure. Wait a second, and the car actually powers down itself. So we are fully powered down now. The Model 3 is uncomfortably close to the Lambo here. Take a look at that. That one's actually even closer, but I made sure it didn't touch. It is a tight fit, but we're going to make it work. Next is open the frunk and work in there, so let's get started. So the next step is to open the frunk. And there's a plastic piece right here that we're going to have to remove to access the battery. So let me show you guys what that looks like. It's funny, this car's got a bunch of leaves in it, but I am planning on detailing this car for my mom. It's my mom, got to take care of your mom, right? So let's pop this open. I think you can just pull on it like that. Should come right off. Yeah, so very simple, just kind of tug on it and it opens right up. Let's go ahead and put this away. Let me show you guys what this area looks like actually. So here's what it looks like once you remove that plastic piece. A little bit intimidating, but here's the battery that we're trying to access. It is a 12 volt battery. Now, I didn't even know that this battery existed on the Model 3 until that issue came up. But I looked a little bit more into it, and it's used for things like when you use your app to access the car. That's what actually powers the car, not the actual battery from underneath it. So that's what kind of went bad, and it kept prompting us with that error message. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that right now, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so first thing we're going to want to do is remove this part right here, which is a plastic little piece. I believe it just pops right off as well. Yep. Okay, again, just pull that off. Nice and easy, it's just brackets that come right off. Next thing we're going to want to do is undo the negative, which is a 10mm socket. We'll do it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, that was pretty easy. So here's what that looks like. Pretty basic, just remove the negative and pull it off to the side here. Tuck it in right there. That's what it looks like. We're going to go ahead and go to the back seats now. So now we're inside the back seats of the Model 3, and the high voltage connection is actually going to be found right here under the seat cushion, which is behind the passenger. There's actually a little lever right here. Let me see if I can show you guys. You just kind of lift things up, and there's like a little lever right here. You pull it, and it opens right up. So here's a better look at that little thing that holds it down. It's a little lever right there that you pull on, and it releases the back seats completely up. Okay, so the next step is to lift up the bench, and there's a foam piece that we're going to remove right here. So just a little foam cut out. Put that off to a side. The high voltage connection is right here. Hope I don't get a new haircut. So here's what that looks like when it's undone. There is the connection, and there's the wire that we pulled out of there. Okay, now that we got that high voltage undone in the back, we're back in the front of the car with our 10mm again. We're gonna go ahead and undo the positive now. And I'm actually gonna grab a towel just to wrap it in after I undo it, just so it doesn't touch anything and spark or anything like that. Okay. All right, next step is to release the battery. Again, there's a socket right there, so we're gonna go ahead and undo that, and then the battery should just be able to pull out. All right, so same thing, we're gonna remove the bracket that's holding the battery in place. We're gonna go ahead and use an extension though, because it's not gonna reach. If I could get it on, there we go. Why would it be long enough, right? There we go. All right, so that pops right off. This piece comes off. Make sure you save that, put it on the side. The last step is to disconnect the hose that goes into the battery right there, and then we should be able to just pull the battery right out. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Just disconnect that right there. And one Tesla battery is out. Here is the battery that I just pulled out of the Model 3. Like I said, this car is a 2020, so this battery is getting to the end of its life here. This is what it looks like after you remove the battery. That's what it looks like down there. Not too bad so far. Everything is going smooth. So let's go ahead and swap out the battery. Let's take the Volvo for a cruise. So I guess you could say we're using the station wagon to do station wagon things. Take a look at that. This thing is massive. I mean, seriously, take a look at this thing. From a practicality standpoint, this thing is ridiculous. I mean, imagine if these two seats laid down. You have a football field in the back seat. I mean, the back end looks great as well. Take a look at those LEDs. I dig it. Now, like I said, more to come on this Volvo here soon, but take a look at how sick these golden seatbelts are. They match the Brembo golden brakes, which I think are super sick. Now, again, guys, this isn't my car. It was lent to me to do videos on, to review, to share with you guys. But take a look at this thing. I am genuinely impressed. Quick look around and take a look at these seats. Looks like I have a Cadillac Blackwing here. Super nice. But yeah, let's go swap out the battery for this Model 3 and see if we get this problem fixed. My wife's not feeling too good, but there's not much a Panera Bread bowl can't fix, so let's scoop one up for her. All right, so I just got the new battery. It is the Sure Start Platinum from O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's pretty nice because it comes with a 3-year warranty. So we're gonna go ahead and put this inside the Model 3, put everything back together, and hope we did everything right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is slide the battery into position here. Just like that. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is attach the positive back to the battery. So now that the battery's in place, we're gonna go ahead and put the harness back on that holds the battery in place. All right, so now that that's in position. All right, so that's gonna hold the battery nice and tight in place. It's nice and secure. Next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and attach the positive here. So I'm not really one to work on cars per se, but this was not too bad actually. So I hope this helped you guys out So in case you run into the same issues with your Model 3s. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Actually, I was just thinking about something. I was like, I've never done this before. I've got it parked right next to my Lamborghini and inside my garage in my house. I was like, what if this thing like blew up or caught fire? Obviously, it's not likely, but just the thought that comes to mind when you're doing something like this. Okay, the next step is to connect the high voltage connection, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and connect the negative, put all the trim pieces back in, and I think we should be good to go. So fingers crossed, after we put these back, we're going to jump in and see if we solve the problem here. Okay, so actually before I put the trim pieces back on, I think let's try it in case there's an issue. It's easily accessible, so let's jump in the Model 3 and see what we did here. All right, so here it is, moment of truth. Let's jump in the 3. Okay, the screen's on. Guess that's a good sign. What does it say? Schedule service now to inspect vehicle controller. Condition detected with a vehicle controller. Don't know what that is. Let's go ahead and power the car down, turn it back on, and see if that thing goes away. So there it is, guys. That's how you swap out the 12-volt battery in a Tesla Model 3. Now, unfortunately, we did get that new error message, but that's a little bit above my pay grade. So I'm going to go ahead and make an appointment with Tesla service. Make sure you guys stay tuned to find out what the issue is. But thank you guys so much for watching. Guys, don't forget, don't be average. I'll see you guys in the next video.